and in Popstar's nervous sweat, a portion of its citizens were immediately sent to a watery and salty grave. And with that dark thought in mind, hey everyone, this is HypoWild and welcome to a brand new series. This is Kirby's Dreamland 3 for the Super Nintendo. This was released in 1997 and was the last of 4 Kirby games released for the Super Nintendo, as well as the last game that Nintendo actually published and developed for the Super Nintendo. And without further ado, let's get started with Level 1, Grassland. Now, I actually believe that cutscene is a nod to Kirby's Dreamland 2, where originally our animal friend there on the right was actually supposed to be in the umbrella with Kirby, but I feel like it's almost like Kirby's just ready to get on with his new friends and get rid of the old ones. So this game is a pretty standard Kirby game. You just jump and hail and eat enemies. And here we have Kirby's standard cutter ability. Pretty much a staple in the Kirby series since Adventure. I almost said Advance for some reason, even though Nightmare in Dreamland technically did come out for the Advance, and it was also a remake of Kirby's Adventure. So the star pieces I just grabbed there are similar to the stars from Kirby 64, where if you collect 30 of them, you can get an extra life. And believe me, lives are not hard to come by. So I'm just gonna hold on to this cutter ability for a bit, and so every level in this game has sort of an objective, and here we have Tulip Stage, where every first level of every world is going to involve some sort of flower, and pretty much one rule of Kirby's Dreamland 3 that they teach you immediately is to not step on flowers, and you'll see that in a minute. And just as the first level, it's actually a fairly simple objective. Speaking of objectives, I do plan on 100%ing this game, and I do mean actually 100%ing this game. Those of you who've played this game before know that it's kind of a weird way to 100% this game, but at the very least I will be getting completing all of the objectives for our levels. So here is the room I was talking about, where there is our tulips and we just have to fly over them like so. Or just even if you don't fly over them, just don't step on them. That's the important thing, is that if you don't step on them, then you will complete the objective, as I've stated many times before. Now, I gotta say, one thing that I really do enjoy about this game is that its art style. I just love it. I remember touching on this back in my Kirby 64 playthrough, how I said that a lot of the Kirby games have varying art styles, and this one's no different. This one has kind of a crayon-y kind of art style. I guess that's what it was going for, but I do enjoy it. It actually, I feel like this game is maybe the most relaxing of all the Kirby games. Let's just put it that way. And so, with that completed, there is our objective. Now, these are heart stars, which we will need in order to complete the game, and there are 30 of them by what being 30 levels. So, this minigame here is very similar to the one in Kirby 64, where if our arms are high, we'll go a lot shorter, but if our arms are all the way back, then we'll go the entire distance. Now, I'm going to try and aim for I actually don't know what I'm going to aim for. I might aim for the Peppy Sword just so I have all of my health back. So basically with health, you have 10 hits instead of 5, because that smaller dot indicates that we've actually been hit. And so each of those stars on the minigames as well account for either 1 being the smallest. If you go for the middle one, it's 3, and a big fat one is worth 5 star points. And so I'm also going to just get this out the way. This is the stone ability. This is probably my least favorite ability in the entire game, but if we do this, then we can get some stars here. I'm just get it. You know what? I'm actually gonna just get it again. Alright. So in this level, we will be introduced to our animal friends, and some of them are new, some of them are also returning from Kirby's Dreamland 2, which actually this game, kind of similar to how Kirby 64 was made reference to Kirby's Dreamland 3, this game also makes reference to Kirby's Dreamland 2, and here we have our partners, Choo Choo, who I just picked up, and Pitch, who is over there, who's kind of sad that we didn't get him. They are both new to this game, but for this level we are going to need Choo Choo. I almost forgot her name for a minute. Now Choo Choo is kind of unique. She actually doesn't inhale like Kirby, but instead that she just grabs enemies and just put them in Kirby's mouth. Now most of the partners will actually inhale, or at least let Kirby inhale, but for this one, Choo Choo just likes to put them in his mouth, in Kirby's mouth. So here for Moochie Moochie stage, we basically just had to slap him across the face, and that's pretty much satisfactory enough for him, because he is actually a huge fan of Choo Choo's for some reason. He kind of has a crush, according to the Kirby wiki, which I do enjoy how a lot of these guys actually have kind of a small backstory to them. It kind of adds a bit of personality to a bunch of the characters in this game, so I'm just gonna show off the hammer ability. Now, also similar to Kirby 64, there are kind of combinations in this level in this game with getting partners and also getting abilities, because every partner has a different ability with each power-up. Like so with the needle here, which I'm going to show off, where Choo Choo will shoot spikes in the distance. The only problem is that you can't shoot spikes from above. Like, you can't jump and shoot spikes below you. They only go in this 180-degree radius. So that's basically that. So, one reason that I decided to do this game was because this is considered to be, by many, sort of the black sheep of the Kirby series, and surprisingly, a lot of people didn't even know of this game's existence, and including well, obviously, I had to play it the first time. I had to not know about it in order to hear about it. I guess that was kind of obvious, but anyway, a lot of people actually kind of don't remember this game, or didn't even know that this game even existed, and so one thing. And that's what I like to do on this channel, is that I like to show off a lot of games that people either don't know about or maybe have forgotten. I feel like that it's kind of easier to commentate over, where it doesn't seem like I'm just stating the obvious or anything. But I think one reason that people kind of forgot about this game was, well, the release date, for one thing, because this game came out in November of 1997. So by then, a lot of people had already purchased an N64, or may have already purchased an N64 and may have already just stopped buying games for their SNES. And one other theory that I've always had is that people have always considered Kirby Superstar to be kind of the quintessential Kirby game, and I'm no different either. And also, Choo Choo can hold on to walls, or ceilings if you prefer, as well. That's another unique thing about it. But anyway, I guess one thing about Kirby 64 is, or not Kirby 64, Kirby Superstar, is that many people consider it to be the quintessential Kirby game. Even though Kirby 64 is my favorite, I still think that Kirby Superstar is probably the best Kirby game out of the entire series, and maybe people were kind of off-put that this game wasn't exactly like Kirby Superstar, excuse me. So that's kind of my whole theory about that situation, but I feel like it's good just to shed some light on this game. And here we have Picture Man stage. So every third level is going to be one of these mini games, and they start off pretty easy, but they do get harder, trust me, on this one. And this is probably the easiest of them all. So basically, Picture Man is going to throw a different Gordo behind a wall, and you have to keep track of what face it is, and you have to pick the correct face. And wow, I've never seen him throw two in a row. That's actually a new one on me. So what is oh, so help me if it's the same one the third time. Okay, so it wasn't that. It was actually this one, if I believe. Yeah, and that is pretty much it. But they do get harder, trust me, but that's probably the easiest one out of the three, and I probably do not recommend having an animal friend as going down this part. You know, in fact, I'm actually going to drop the rock ability because I don't even like it that much, honestly. So, you can grab a bunch of stars on the way down if you want to. You can also inhale all these Nerfs in the same inhale if you want to as well. And that is pretty much all of the level, objective and all, so I'm not really going to do much to just collect stars. This is basically what they do at the end of every level after you've completed all the objectives, is that they just give you things to collect, like stars, health, whatever the case may be. And here is our indoors. So I'm going to pretty much just section this out, kind of like how I did Kirby 64. I'm just going to do three levels per video. And every second video is going to have a boss at the end, so I'm just going to tack that on at the end as well. So here, I am going to aim for that maximum tomato. So let's, not all the way, yes, we got it. Alright, that's good. Alright, so in the next episode, I'll be tackling our next level. But until next time, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been HypoOwl, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.